Hi Scorpio risings, welcome to your video. Okay, so we're going to talk about your life and how your life is laid out. It's Scorpio season when I'm recording this, so what's up? I am a Scorpio stellium, so it is what it is. I get it, family. So I'm going to talk about basically your entire chart, but obviously it depends on your planets and your aspects and your degrees and all of that fun stuff. But this is a basic outline of how your life is. Like if you were in Mario World, and when you have to pick the different Mario lands, this is like the land that you chose, even though the goal is the same here, but it's the land in which you chose to be in. Okay, so in the vehicle in which you drive in, and as a Scorpio rising, honey, whatever it is, okay, I think it's a matte on matte, black on black, like this right here. Okay, tinted windows all the way up. You can't see inside, honey. You can't see who's sitting next to me. You can't even see me. You can't hear nothing. It's soundproof. It's bulletproof, honey. It's all the proofs. That is what we're going to be talking about. I really want you guys to focus on the 1st, the 4th, the 7th, and the 10th house when I'm talking about this, because these are the pillars, okay? These are the foundation of your life, like why you do the things that you do and what gets you going, essentially, okay? So with that being said, I already told you about what kind of vehicle I think you drive in, all right? What planets are ruling you? Mars and Pluto. All right, so Aries and Scorpio have a lot of similarities because they're ruled by Mars. But think of Mars in Aries like as the warrior, and Mars and Pluto and Scorpio as the general, okay? Literally, that's what it is. All right, you can think of Aries as the gunsman, and Scorpio is the sniper. All right, so this energy is very poignant, very mysterious, very magnetic, because let's break it down. Mars rules, fiery independence, passion, libido, sex, drive, all that, like the gas in your car, the reason why you get up out of bed, flames. And Pluto rules the underworld, death, rebirth, regeneration. It rules chemistry, it rules synapses, and it rules irreversible transformation. So this is in your first house. So your first house and your personal issues, honey, it's very intense for you. Your life is a very intense life. It's a very transformative life, because that's what Scorpio is about. Scorpio is about irreversible change, that your chemistry is altered after you go through an experience. And as a Scorpio rising, you go through a lot of personal experiences and you transform a lot yourself. This can be anywhere from physically to emotionally to spiritually, mentally. You shift a lot. Even though you are very fixated, meaning that you can be very laser focused, like I said, like a sniper, you can be very laser focused and, have a goal in mind. You have no choice but to change, and I'm actually going to link my Scorpio video that I had. It was like a super random video, but I'm going to link it in the comments below just so you can get more of an idea of that energy in itself. So that's with Scorpio on the first house. There's a sexiness about you as well, okay? Because there's a lot of that mysterious sexual energy. People don't know how to read you. They might feel intimidated by you, okay? Because Scorpio rules, crisis, and it's like a tunnel. I think about it as going in the tunnel, like, I don't know what I'm going to get. That's like how people approach you, or they might not approach you at all, but that's how they interact with you, very cautiously, okay? And you're very cautious with people. Of course, it takes a lot for people to even infiltrate your space, infiltrate your world because of the emotional transformations that you constantly go through. You're doing like a quality control of people who can come in your life, you know? Excuse me. So on the second house, this is what you value, and it's what you own, and how you handle your money, and your self-esteem, and what you're naturally, you know, attuned to in a lot of ways, or the relationship that you have with your body. So you have Sagittarius here. This is super interesting because you're very closed off, but depending on where your placements are, and just especially your Jupiter and stuff like that, it depends on what kind of Scorpio rising you'll be. Because, you know, you might be like that, but say, oh my God, you might be a Sagittarius sun and say, like, I'm here, like, you know, I want to talk, I want to hang out, I want to interact with people, especially, you know, Sagittarius sun, Jupiter in the 9th house. You're just like, okay, hello, I want to, you know, Mercury in Virgo or Gemini or something, and you just want to talk to people, or Mercury in Libra, you know, Venus in Libra, you're like, I just want to connect, I want to connect. So it could be really interesting. But with Sagittarius on the second house, you have to learn how to value your elders, you know what I'm saying? The people, your ancestors, and people who are older than you, and your teachers and your mentors. And those are people that you end up valuing anyway, because they teach you a lot. You know, Scorpio risings also have kind of like an old soul already, along with Pisces risings, you know, kind of like this old soul in them. So with Sagittarius in the second house, it depends on how you are with your body. Honestly, it really depends on how you are, because Sagittarius honestly has no boundaries at some point with certain type of things. So this could be with your money. You could just be spending money, like, you know, blowing through your money. When it comes to your body, you could just, you know, be giving away your body, and very much exploring with it, you know what I'm saying? Because Sagittarius is about experiences, and this is in your second house, so you value the experience of things. It's not necessarily depending on your placements, but I don't even think most of the times it's not even necessarily monetary. It's just, I want to go through this. Like, I want to, you know, go to this movie and laugh and cry or whatever. I want to experience this moment. I want to go to this concert. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to explore life. So that's what you really value: exploration, travel, cultures, you know, foreign people, foreign places, different perspectives, big visions, and definitely building your self-esteem, really leaning into your Sagittarius-like qualities, which is digging deep into your knowledge and your wisdom, and making sure you really value morality and integrity, and you know, even faith and religion, depending on where your placements are. But just the higher knowledge, you really value that kind of stuff. This is what kind of makes Scorpio risings more on the serious side, you know, or just more on the like, okay, but all right, like type of vibe. So now in your third house, you have Capricorn, right? Oh, I can't even get in my braid. Can't get in my braid. So Capricorn, and that's funny because Capricorn is, you know, where things slow down, and where things tend to be hard, when where we think about long-term things, or, you know, we also kind of cause limitations on ourselves, self-imposed limitations. So you have a very serious mind, as I was saying. Capricorn here, it's like a mind of an elder, you know, and you probably have conversations with a lot of older people, or people who just feel older, and who give you wise knowledge that you can take on for a long time, legacy knowledge that you really can build on. You're always thinking about what you can build on next and what you can make next that can actually bring you security and bring you something that is a great return on investment for the hard work that you're putting in. I really feel like Scorpio risings have a tendency to value and or really understand more resilience and patience, and that things take time, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't, it's because you have other placements somewhere else, because you have a lot of Aries placements with Scorpio rising, and then be impatient. So then you're going to have to learn how to value these things, because you need to learn how to slow your mind down, you know, or like learn how to just build things brick by brick. And that's what's happening with your third house. Your skills, your efforts come through your discipline and building slowly and methodically. And, you know, you could be a very calculated thinker. You know, this is what helps that, you know, your Scorpio rising general energy, thinking very like step by step. You can't just make any moves, right? General has to make very specific moves. So then your fourth house, this is how you grew up. Aquarius. So, you know, not fun necessarily, depending on where your placements are, but just different. Because Aquarius here is air, so detached air. So either you guys could talk a lot, but there might not be so much emotion going on in this home, you know what I'm saying? Or when you grew up, there was a little bit of just, you know, feeling different, feeling, you know, like you're here to break generational curses, or like you could have been rebelling from your home, you know, even with Uranus here, depending on it, you could have moved around a lot, okay, as a kid as well. But there was some type of, you know, coldness that was here in the home, some type of way with Aquarius. But also wherever Aquarius is, you know, you tend to have a breakthrough, have epiphanies, you know. And Uranus is where sudden things happen and sudden changes happen. So you're used to that when it comes to your home life. And you probably have a lot of technology in your home, probably. You know, you like to be tech savvy, depending on where your placements are, but you like to, you know, clap on, clap off, talk to Siri, talk to Google Home, whatever the case may be. With Aquarius here, work from your computer. Make sure you have your internet, honey. She needs to be connected. So funny, right? Scorpio risings are like super low key most of the time, but they're very connected to the community because, you know, you have Aquarius there. So, you know, because Scorpios are also about merging. So if your state of being is always to merge, then it's just a matter of merging with more people. And Aquarius represents the community. So you always feel like there's just more to do, and, you know, families should be able to put aside their own feelings for the collective, you know, for everybody's sake. Now, the fifth house, you have Pisces. And that's really cool because this makes you highly creative. Also super compassionate towards children. Also, you know, when Pisces comes here, you could have definitely been kind of like a dancer in school or something like this, or some kind of like musician in school, some kind of artist, expressing your emotions, you know, through your imagination. But your imagination is really tapped in. You have a very intuitive creativity. And I don't really feel like most of the times it's not really that planned out. It's just something that you dream up. You know, you dream up your creativity. Your dreams give you a lot of that creative work. And, you know, especially if you, before you had children, you probably had dreams, very vivid dreams about your child coming and things like that. So that intuition is there because children are in the fifth house, you know, anything that we create. So just know that as where your Pisces is, you know, that's where you practice forgiveness and compassion, and making sure that you forgive and give a lot of compassion and care to your inner child. Also making sure that you have boundaries when it comes to your casual romantic relationships, once again, because Pisces is also where we tend to lose ourselves and practice escapism. So this is where we can go off on a binging spree, okay? Depending on what transits we're going through and what time of life we're in and things like that. But just make sure that you have some boundaries around going out at night, because Pisces is just like, things can go wild, okay? And Pisces is, it also rules jail, so you could definitely be out a night out and end up in jail. You are Scorpio rising after all, like, so shit like that can happen. So make sure you watch the company you keep, which you do all the time anyway, but, you know, make sure. So then your sixth house is Aries. You have to make sure that you are working out every day and you're making sure that you're taking care of yourself and self-care. The sixth house is our daily routines, and you have to make sure you get your shit out the way first before you handle anybody or anything else in your life. I don't care what you got going on. You need that for yourself. I don't care if it's 10 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever you need for yourself. Carve that time out unapologetically for you. Make sure that it's very scheduled. You have to be motivated by your day. You have to be passionate by your work. You have to, if you're experiencing fatigue and stuff like that, it's because you're not utilizing that fire energy in the correct way. Okay, this is why working out would be good. You can do like HIIT workouts, something with explosive things, depending on where all your other placements are, but definitely sometimes in there with, you know, Aries there in the sixth house. This can also be, this is just a lot of energy right now. Mars in the sixth house, this can cause masturbation every day. So you want to start mitigating that energy, right? Because sex energy is very sacred, especially to Scorpio rising. When you're merging with other people and creating new energies, Pisces fifth house, right? That you can get lost there. That's what I was saying about those romances, get lost in romance and really put like this rose filtered colored glass on, like glasses on romance, and, you know, things like a romantic comedy or something like that. So with, you know, Aries there, you have to make sure you're taking care of yourself so you can be clear on who you are first, and making sure that your emotions and everything are in alignment with what you want to get completed. So for the day, and Aries here also is your sixth house is work. You know, honey, you could definitely have some enemies at work. Okay, people just kind of feel threatened by you. It's probably fucking annoying as shit. People just feel threatened by you because you just have this air, like, you know, Mars energy. You have like, nigga, I'm here, I'm taking space, like I have things to do. You could just be like this at work, like like just kind of like soldiering at work and just getting it done, because, you know, you value your time, you value everybody else's time, so you just want to get it done. But people are intimidated by people who just want to get it done. So this can be very interesting. That's why most of the times you guys have to end up being bosses for yourself or working with limited amount of people. Now the seventh house, you have Taurus. Okay, so interesting, because you're slow to let people in, you know, but you need appreciation, you need support, you need people who are going to show up for you, you need people who are going to invest in you, and invest in your business, or invest in whatever you got going on, invest in you emotionally. But the key word is invest. Reciprocity is the key word for you. Taurus on the 7th usually have a really good looking partner, drawing in people who are very beautiful, good looking, because this is Venus on the 7th house. And people who can also be very stubborn, okay, and bullheaded. So remember, as a Scorpio rising, I forgot to say that water signs are about reflecting, because if you look into the water, you can see a reflection. So, you know, the people, excuse me, that come into your life are only going to be a reflection of you. So make sure that you are paying close attention to the energies that are coming in. If you're getting high vibrational Taurus or low vibrational Taurus energy. Which high vibrational Taurus energy is people who are stable and people who are going to give you a level of commitment, you know, because that's what you need and you deserve. That's what you want. You want to be appreciated and supported and told that, but you want somebody to show up for you and bring you a plant to your house. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you have relationships, definitely lots of relationships. That's why you tend to get transformed all the time. Lots and lots of relationships, whether you like them or not. Definitely look at where your Venus is in your aspects to see more on that story for you in your love life and even your relationships, your one-on-one relationships. But it's also good for business partnerships, because you will be financially supported. You know, Taurus, Scorpio are money signs. So making money is usually not, it depends on your placements, because, you know, it really depends on your placements, but you could turn around because you do have Venus there on the 7th. So support is there for you universally. So people are here to support you wherever Venus is naturally. You just have to value your relationships and your one-on-one time with people and invest in that, though, you know? And that's hard for a Scorpio rising to do most of the time. So that's why, you know, I'm going back and forth with this. So then on your 8th house, which is this traditionally Scorpio house, you have Gemini. You need to be able to talk to somebody about your deepest, darkest desires. You need to be able to communicate that. And it is your superpower is actually, even if you don't speak, people speak to you. You know, people reveal themselves. They give you a lot of information. You get a lot of information. Scorpios just in general get information. That's just the energy. Because remember, it's the tunnel of transformation, and people want to be transformed, and they want to leave their information there in the tunnel, and they want to move on. This is why Scorpio placements can get into resentment, because they don't know how to let go and realize that they help people transform and become better versions of themselves. So with Gemini in the 8th house, when it comes, you know, to your sex life, you like romance and you like great conversation. Those things come before most things. Even though you're very sexual and you're a very, you know, sensual person, those things come first. Those things is what will keep you engaged for most time, like a long time, for longevity. And when it comes to a crisis, you probably know who to call. You probably know what information to look up. You're probably very knowledgeable on what to do. You know, Gemini is information intelligence, and that's in the 8th house. So you know all things also about the occult, the tarot, and you're just kind of like curious and wanting to know more always about aliens and the things that we don't talk about. But now, shit, we start talking about everything now these days. So I wonder what the 8th house is going to turn into. But definitely as well, Gemini here, you could have by curiosity as well, because Gemini rules both men and women, you know, masculine, feminine energy, and in the 8th house, depending on what planets you have, especially with Venus is there, honey. Yes, I'm sure you like both, you know what I'm saying? But remember, the soul ties, the soul ties, the soul ties. So just make sure that you're always clear about your intentions, what you're doing with people sexually. This is why Gemini is sitting in the 8th house for you. And even though it's in the dark, you have to find your communication. You have to be able to talk about it as well, and not just use your energy. I hope that makes sense. And then in the 9th house, we have Cancer. So you learn from feminine energy, women, your mother. I'm sure you learned a lot of lessons from her, your aunties, your sisters, your nieces. You learned from feminine energy. You learned from childbirth. You learned from nurturing and nourishment, because I can't believe I didn't say this. Wherever Scorpio is, there's a sense of malnourishment, a sense of loss and debt and grief and death. Okay. And this is on your personality. So the thing is, when it comes to your mentors, they're usually people who are very nurturing and kind and loving. If not, and they're giving you mommy dearest vibes, you got to check your energy. You know, you're not in a good place, and you attract them crazy ass, you know, mommy dearest vibes. But when you're in a good space, you're attracting, you know, great, positive, like people who are just like, okay, baby, like it's all good. Come on here. Like, and you need that. You need a good hug, and you need a great meal and a great conversation in a warm home. You know, those are the best moments of learning for you, the best moments of expansion for you. Going to people's homes and, you know, in their private space and really getting to know them. So it's very Scorpio though. Anyway, privacy, home, things like that. And now in the 10th house, you have, this is the interesting thing. You have Leo. So Scorpio rising, got to come out wherever you are, because you're here to actually express your sun energy. And the sun is in the 10th house. So you're here actually to reinvent yourself into the light, into the illumination, into the sun, out of the darkness into the light. That's what you are here to actually do and become. You're here to actually become a joyful individual who plays on the stage and embracing your childhood. You're here to actually live your childhood out in the world, in the public, for the world to see, and reinvent yourself as somebody who is optimistic and positive, and someone who's courageous and queen, king, you know what I'm saying? And Leo energy, baby, like feeling good, looking good, and just encouraging people, because you've been through so many things personally that you can see the light now. You're here to see the light, for real. It'll be a challenge. I'm not saying it's not a challenge, and I know it is, but you're here for that. Now, the 11th house, we have Virgo. So interesting. Your friends can be very nitpicky, honey. Okay, they can be they could be very like critical and judgmental. So make sure that like that's low vibrational, and I know you don't like that. But Scorpio and Virgo get along because they're just both very observant people. So that's what I would say for the high vibrational people who care about their health and care about their mental well-being and are very observant. People who like to connect you to different people, and people who like to show up for you and show up for you every day. You know, that's what Scorpio risings really need, that they need people that they know they can rely on, that are resourceful, purposeful, that can help them take a load off, you know, off their mind, stuff like that. That's what they really are looking for in the future. They're looking for people who will help them purify their toxicity, you know, and really show them that you don't need all that extra baggage. You only need to come with what you need to come with, and you are perfect as you are. And so the low vibrational side, of course, too, is like just being around people who want to be perfect all the time, and, you know, want to maintain a certain kind of, you know, way of being and living inauthentically. And that's not a Scorpio rising usually anyway, but you know, that's how you know you're pulling in low vibrational, which is not bad because you need to see it so you can refine it. As well as what else with Virgo on the 11th, you know, you want people, you know, you want the community to pay attention and be more observant, and you want the future to care about their wellness and their health, and you know, how their daily routine affects their future. That's what you want people to be aware of. So that's definitely something that you can look into, and you know, see how every little thing connects and how every little thing makes us who we are. The 12th house. The 12th house is in Libra. And that's very interesting. That's very interesting anyway. I always love the 12th house of the first house. I always think that because that's your spirit, and that's Venus again. So you find a lot of love and comfort within spirituality, and if you haven't, it's because you're falling on the side of fear and paranoia. But when you stretch that into faith and turn it into faith, as you should, and turn it into compassion and ultimate understanding and unconditional love, you know, you have Venus there. Venus is exalted in Pisces, so Libra in the 12th house is exalted here. It loves to be here. Your heart is so empathetic. It's so forgiving. It's so just open to, again, you know, learning and seeing how people are. And you have a capacity that a lot of people do not have. Making sure that you don't overcompromise your need to be relatable, on a subconscious level, like I'm here for you subconsciously, and wanting to help people so much at the detriment to your own happiness and to your own, you know, nourishment and love, you know, because you got to make sure that you fill up your love first. And your relationship, Libra, represents relationship with spirit. 12th house is the most important relationship for you to have. So making sure that you maintain that and hold that true, and realize that people are coming in and out of your life, baby. And that's why I want you to check out that Scorpio video, for real. Check out that Scorpio video. I'll link it in the comments below. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. But you know, I see 3 little matte tinted windows. I see you, sis. I see you, bruh. Bye.